With this session update, I'm Shannon Lurkey. Bipartisan lawmakers from the House and Senate joined with Attorney General Keith Ellison and former Supreme Court Justice Alan Page in calling for an amendment to the Minnesota Constitution that would guarantee every child the right to a quality education. They spoke to the press at the Capitol. Here's that media event.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is State Representative Rena Moran, and I represent the City of St. Paul, District 65A. It is no secret that our state has a significant educational disparity gap, which also is an opportunity gap between children of color and those from the low-income background with their white counterparts. Despite our best effort, it is one of the worst in the nation. The Minnesota Department of Education reported on October of 2019 that less than 40%, or less than 4 out of every 10 Black, American Indian, Latino, Hispanic children are at proficiency by the 11th grade. So what that means is that we are graduating children today who are underprepared to succeed in the workforce or college. This, for me, is a disaster. For those children, it is a disaster. For those families, it is a disaster. And for our communities and our states, it is a disaster. Every single child, no matter of zip code, neighborhood, or cultural background, should be encouraged to reach their full potential. It's time to fundamentally reframe our discussion about education and truly aspire to give our kids the best opportunity to achieve in the classroom. Today, we are saying good enough is not good enough. I'm proud to support a bipartisan, bicameral effort in the Minnesota legislature to amend our state constitution to require the equal right to a quality public education rather than the constitutional current language, which only require a uniform system of public school. This outdated language, enacted in 1857, only requires the state to make an adequate public education available. No parent dreams of their child being adequate. It's time to put children first. Their needs, their future should be at the forefront of our decision making. This amendment will force us to focus on holistically on the outcomes we ultimately want to see for our children, including in neighborhoods like mine, where families aren't afforded the same opportunity as those from more affluent areas. Our students deserve an education vision that looks beyond uniformity and instead focuses on preparing our children to solve problems, explore their interests, have dreams and passions, and be equipped for success. We simply cannot wait to act while too many of our children lack the opportunities necessary to reach their full potential. The only meaningful solution before us includes upsetting the status quo. Because frankly, the status quo isn't working anymore. I wholeheartedly support this proposal, and I thank Justice Alan Page and the Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neil Kaczkari for helping to bring this discussion to the forefront. I hope Minnesota voters will have a say in Minnesota. So at this time, I would like to introduce my friend from across the aisle, Ron Creasha.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative Moran. And I echo the friend. We've worked on a lot of issues together, and before I go any further, I want to thank all those that have put this group together and put us behind the research, all those at the Fed, the research, the advocate groups, and Justice Page and President Kaczkari, and those that have spoken about this issue. I want you to look at this group and realize that this group transcends education groups, special interest groups, and it really takes us back to what is a quality outcome for students. And as I look at this proposal, and one of the reasons why I'm happy to co-author and to push hard for this is because we don't need more conversations. We already know this achievement gap exists. It's quantifiable, it's known, and we know the effects. What we need is solutions. And frankly, in the legislature, we haven't done our job. And unless we put something in place, unless we change the Constitution and take some kind of action like that to break up the status quo, as Representative Moran said, we're not going to change the adults' minds so that we can actually put a quality education in front of all kids. And one of the proposals, or one of the statements I like the most about this proposal from Justice Page, and I know when I asked him the words he carefully chose, it was all kids. All kids deserve a quality education. And for this, I will say, we need to elevate the state's responsibility so that all kids are ensured a quality education, so that the legislature has a mandate to go out and do their job and to change it. Because right now, without something like this, the status quo will keep pushing forward and the achievement gap will just get wider. And with that, I'd like to introduce, I'm not sure if he's here, I didn't see him.
Sorry. Senator Howe.
Senator Howe.
Roommate?
Yes, sir.
Well, things are we should be fluid, and I tell you what, we're fluid here today, and but we haven't been fluid with our educational system, and that's something that we must change. Our achievement gaps mean that based on race, ethnicity, and our social and economic status, many Minnesota children do not have the same chance to succeed in our workforce and our society. As our demographics shift across our state, we literally no longer can afford the consequences of the current achievement gap. I agree with Chair Moran that no parent aspires their child to get an adequate education. No business looks for adequate employees. They look for the exceptional. They look for the people that are going to take them to the next level. We need to commit to doing better in Minnesota for all of our children, family, our communities, and our workforce. Our future economy and the health of our state depends on it. Our state's strong commitment to public education has fueled our economic vitality and our homegrown businesses, from small startups to Fortune 500 companies. We must take our education system and make it better. Unfortunately, too many adults have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo, which comes at the expense of our children and our families. So next, I'd like to introduce Representative Vang.
Thank you, Senator Howie. It is great to see the amount of support in this room. I'm State Representative Samantha Vang. I represent Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park. The Equal Right to Quality Public Education Amendment makes educating our children a paramount duty of the state. It says all children have a fundamental right to a quality public education that fully prepares them with the skills necessary for participation in the economy, our democracy, and society as measured against uniform achievement standards set forth by the state. This pushes us as lawmakers and together with our communities to think about what children need to succeed as well-rounded citizens and to thrive. This amendment continues, it is a paramount duty of the state to ensure quality public schools that fulfill this fundamental right. Making quality public education a paramount duty means that the state has no higher responsibility than to fulfill this fundamental right. Over 93% of all Minnesota children attend our public schools. And as education is the great equalizer among us, we have to work to shift the paradigm and eliminate these gaps. Schools throughout the entire state must serve all children better. This amendment is meant to challenge the system, not teachers, by shifting power to families. Too many adults have a vested interest in the status quo, and too many children are left behind. At this time, I'm going to invite Superintendent Carlton Jenkins to the podium.
Uh-oh.
I can give you mine.
Thank you there. This is really team, right? Teamwork. Perfect. As we were preparing to come here today, though, seriously, what's been on my mind, we the people. Look up here. We the people. What also was on my mind, we came together to form a more perfect union. And when you look at the clause, educational clause here, state of Minnesota, 1857, when this clause was written, some of our people were still enslaved. Our women could not even vote and participate at that time. We as a nation, one of the greatest in the world, come together and we try to get better and better. So here we are today. And when I look at this proposed amendment, it's a vehicle for starting a much-needed conversation. When we look at Minnesota, and I've been inspired to come to Minnesota now since 1992, because I looked at Minnesota as that place in the nation that where all dreams could come true. And I have to tell you, it saddens me when I come here as a superintendent, and I have to fight for Minnesota outside of Minnesota because people have looked at our data and say, how could you still profess that you guys are one of the best when you have the disparities between white children, African-American, Native American children, Latino children, special needs, and poor white children? How can you still profess that? I say we're working on it. We're not perfect, but we're working on it. And when I told people about this proposed amendment, they just got excited. They know that it's happened across the nation. 30 times people have gone forth and made a proposal to change the Constitution. But to get it right, to have the right people to do it, it's right here in Minnesota. And I'll say to you this, as I get ready to close, Brown versus the Board of Education was a great promise. It was a potential of what could happen. When Green versus the county school district, Green went forth and set out 6 conditions that said if you truly want to integrate, here's the gold standard. I'm saddened to say we have not met it in the country. We have not met it here in the state of Minnesota. This is truly about all children. This can and will be transformative, and we owe it to ourselves not to miss this opportunity to have this conversation about all children means all children. All right. Thank you.
So our next speaker would be the Attorney General, Keith Ellison.
All right. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's good to see everyone. You know, I think it's a good idea to say the paramount duty of the state is to make sure that all children have quality public education as a civil right. I think it's a fine idea. And I tell you, when we think about the last Constitution on education was 1857, I think it's time for an update. And I can tell you, as your Attorney General, it's my job to defend the state. And I'm actually in litigation right now, and I can assure you that, I think that paramount duty, quality public education is, I think, a better standard, a higher standard for me to have to defend, but a better standard than adequate, which is, I think, how courts have construed the meaning of uniform system of education paid for by taxes. You know, people have said, well, is this going to allow vouchers? When you have the word public in the amendment 3 times, I think we're good. Yeah. And people say, well, wait a minute, this says taxes paid for by the legislature. Well, have you ever seen a private taxes paid for by the legislature when it comes to a public service? I think we're solid when we're talking about public education. I also want to say, some folks have said, hey, will this lead to litigation? Maybe. I mean, if we don't live up to the promise. I seem to remember something about Brown versus Board of Education. I think that was litigation. It wouldn't be the first time that Americans have had to sue to make sure that their kids could get a quality education. And so I don't fear it. I think it's a good thing. I think that in Minnesota, we should strive to do better. If we can educate white kids, and we do it pretty well, then we can educate all kids. And I'll just say that I believe that the public school teachers of our state are the true heroes. I admire them. I believe in them. They do so much for our kids, and I know they're up to the challenge during the time that those kids are in school. And I just want to say that I agree that we cannot say we're not going to pay their parents proper wages, we're not going to house them properly, we're not going to feed them, we're not going to give them health care, but you know what? Sometime between 8 and 4, you work a miracle. I agree when they make that critique, and it's fair. We all have a lot of duty and responsibility, and we got to step up and do our good part. But I also believe that we have an awesome set of teachers who can, if given the right tools and given the right goals, can make sure all of our kids have quality public education as a civil right. Last point I want to make. You know, the fact of the matter is that we have challenges facing us that we cannot afford to leave any child outside of our circle of compassion. We have climate change. We have serious disease. We have all kinds of problems facing this world. And you don't know where the genius of any person might be. Genius does not reside in one color, one sex, one sexual orientation, one geography. It resides everywhere. And if we decide that, you know, those kids who come from that neighborhood, that part of the state, that racial background, we can afford to simply not develop them, we will be hurting ourselves overall. We've got to develop all of our kids, and remember, each one of them has genius inside. There is a woman who is maybe cleaning toilets in Hennepin County Medical Center right now, and she believes that her daughter is gonna be a doctor if she gets somebody to back her up and invest in her education. Do we believe it? Do we believe that little girl's gonna be a doctor? Do we share that mother's dream? If we do, we will support this effort. Thank you.
So our next speaker will be Justice Alan Page.
Well, thank you. I don't know that following the speakers that have spoken already, I don't know that I have much to add. But first, let me send regrets and apologies from Neil Kashkari. He's not here today. He's home with the flu. He thought he'd keep it there and not share it with all of us. God bless him. You know, it's interesting. We talk about achievement gaps, opportunity gaps. Those two, and we sort of go back and forth, which is better, you know, suggesting that one may stigmatize children, and so maybe we should use the other. In reality, both of those terms are really nothing more than a different way, maybe a softer way, at least we think it's a softer way, of saying that we adults have failed children. And so that's my focus, our failure, and how do we rectify that. And I would just echo what Attorney General Ellison said, and by the way, thank you for your support in making this happen. I would just echo, teachers are not the problem. Teachers are some of the most, I would argue, the most important people in this community. We entrust our children and our children's future, and thus our future, in their hands. And so I think, and one of the reasons motivating me, and I think motivates Neil, is that we think that our proposed amendment to Article 13 of the Minnesota Constitution will empower teachers. I would also like to say thank you to all of our legislative sponsors. Your courage, your leadership in bringing this proposal, this proposed amendment forward is invaluable, because what really is happening today is it's really the first step in putting before the people, before the citizens of Minnesota, before all Minnesotans, the notion that they have a voice in this. One of the important things about our proposed amendment is it literally puts all children first. It begins, all children have a fundamental right. Not some children, all children. Having, for the people of this state, the opportunity to give their voice to whether or not that is a value of Minnesota is something that I think is important. It can't just be a few of us that have that notion. The question is it a value of this state? Is it our collective value? I think it is. And I think given the opportunity, the people of this state will agree that it is all of our value. And so I'm looking forward to the next steps in the process. And again, thank you, each and every one of you, as I said, for your leadership and your courage to be here. This proposed amendment can be transformational. It can change the future, make it better than what it might otherwise be. And I will just leave you with this thought. I spend a lot of time in schools and classrooms, talking with and reading to young children. And when I go into a classroom, I was recently in one, I won't identify it, but it was, I would guess, 90 to 95% children of color. And if you look at the research, and if you look at the facts, there were 365 children in that room. I'm trying to calculate the math in my head as I stand here, and it's not computing very well. But this is going to be a rough estimate. 70% of those children were going to be left behind. Think about that. I think about it every time I look out and see a group of children. Which 70% is it going to be? It doesn't have to be any of them. When we put children first, we can change the future. Thank you.
So I too would like to just thank Justin Allen Page for his leadership, for putting words into policy, enforcing us in the legislature to look at ourselves and how we have failed Black children, children of color, low-income children, Native American kids in the state of Minnesota. And we can do better, and we must do better. So we'd like to open it up for questions now.
Representative, you all know, all you folks up here know how the politics of this works. The teachers union opposes this. How do you get this through?
Well, as the chief author in the House, with many of the co-authors here that I'm very excited to see sign on. I'm going to do my due diligence to make sure this body moves through the body in the House of Representatives. We also have a Senate author there, too. And, you know, we need to let the teachers union and others know this is not about teachers. This is not about teachers. You know, teachers have a wonderful role to play that they do every time they get up and go into a classroom, and we thank them for that. But these is about our children, and we have to do better. And so it's going to be our job, my job, and I hope our job to show up and be the voice for the children.
If I could
Can I
just,
add this? It's okay. Look, I want to say that we value the teachers union. We value teachers. We think they're a critical part of how we educate our children. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to have a lot of conversations. We're going to listen to their points that they're raising. We're not going to just dismiss them. And then we're going to share our points and our motivations. And I think what we're going to find is that we have the same goals. So we're just going to continue to work with, listen to, and talk to them, just like you work out any problem with a friend where you may not have the same approach from the beginning. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to have a lot of dialogues. We're going to need a lot of people. But I believe we're going to get there because I believe that the goals embodied in this amendment are the same goals that the teachers live by every day.
They're afraid, I suspect, that they're going to have a mandate to deliver quality, perhaps without the resources and perhaps without the support in some areas of the state from families of children, and they're the ones who are going to take the hit for it.
And that's a good, I'm sorry.
that's okay. I was just going to add to, I appreciate all this comment. On the other side of this, you look at the group we have up here. When I went through and started knocking on doors, I didn't say, let's look at which groups are supporting this. Doesn't matter. You've seen the articles in the Star Tribune. You've seen all over the spectrum. As I said before, this issue transcends all those groups. They have their stances. They have their solutions. We as legislators look at this and say, how do we do better? Because when you start with an entrenched position, you can't get to a solution that is out of the box. And I think Justice Page, I think Rena Moran, and I think Neil Kashkari have proposed to us the opportunity to break that mold and say, if you want to join us, let's have this and let's do it differently and let's be transformational, but let's set your biases, all of them, aside. And we all have groups that are coming to us. This group has come on an individual basis and said, we're going to make a difference. And I believe if you look around in this room, everybody that's in this room is going to look back and say, I'm glad I was in that room, because something transformational is happening here, and all kids are going to benefit from that.
Justice Page, I was in the E12 hearing last week, and I heard you testify along with Mr. Kashkari. One of the things that he said is that even though the state does pretty well compared to other states with higher per pupil funding and equalized class sizes around the state, the issue seems to be, at least the one he pointed to, is low-income kids and children of color tend to have inexperienced teachers. What would this amendment at a practical level achieve? What would it be aiming to do on the ground?
Well, there's a lot in that question. And some of it gets at your question about the teachers union. Putting children first and supporting teachers in a way that helps them teach better, those two things are not mutually exclusive.
And it's not necessarily about money?
Not necessarily. We've been having this discussion. In fact, somebody put it in a way yesterday that sort of clarified for me. Is it about inputs or is it about delivery? The fact is it's about both. It's not just about inputs. And what the solution will be, as I stand here, I can't tell you. But I can tell you that by enacting this constitutional provision, it will be a catalyst for change.
Can I just say, think about how our Constitution has led to things that we never foresaw. You look at the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, the freedom of expression, right? This has allowed the United States to become the most innovative country in the world because nobody is going to stop you from thinking and expressing your thought. This brought us the internet, it brought us free press, it brought us our raucous political environment too. But the bottom line is constitutional amendments can set things in motion that you don't even foresee. We have a constitutional commitment in the Sixth Amendment to a fair trial. That led us to Gideon versus Wainwright. Everybody has a right to counsel that the state will pay for if you can't afford it. When they wrote that provision, nobody thought about Gideon versus Wainwright. But as we evolved as a nation, we said, you know what? A fair trial means you get a lawyer. Now, what does it mean to say paramount duty of the state is to provide quality public education to all children as a fundamental right? That might, I don't know. We don't know exactly how it's going to unfold 5-10 years from now if we do it, but it will yield positive benefits when we put children first. And we know this. We got to set our intention right. We need to set our focus on what we're trying to do. The status quo amendment basically says what? Okay, uniform system of education paid for by Texas. Okay, that's what we're going to do. But it doesn't really speak to what we're trying to do. Justice Page has allowed us to think about purpose, goal, and that, I think, is going to make all the difference.
If I could just add to that, and I'm sorry. Since this came on and I first heard about it and I started talking, all we hear about is the opposition. I don't want this movement to be defined by the opposition. This is not about what it can't be. Let's talk about what it can be. We all know, no matter how many ought something should be, doesn't change what it is. We know where the achievement gap is today. We know where we're failing, and we know the kids that aren't being allowed to reach their full potential. So why are we talking about all the groups that want to define this in opposition when we should be talking about how this group can take it to a transformational space that actually achieves something that we're proud of, that we look back on and say, we did this for the kids, not the adults.
Neil and I think I can speak for him. When we sat down to talk about this, for us, putting children first is kind of our North Star. That's what this is about. It's putting children first. And you're right. We can talk about...
I'll take that as the highest compliment today.
We can talk about all the problems and all the what-ifs. And quite frankly, that's what we've been doing, and that's what's gotten us here where we are today. That's why we're having this conversation.
To be fair, my question wasn't anything about opposition. It was about what will be accomplished through this, and the answer I'm hearing so far is we don't know.
Well, you know, if you look at, but if you look at, this is a similar amendment that was passed in Florida. Their achievement gap has really closed. I mean, they're doing great things down there, and this is not that much different than Florida. But if we want the same results, let's keep doing the same thing.
And so let me just also say that from my perspective as an African-American legislator who has 4 black sons and 3 black daughters, is that when this bill was enacted in 1857, we know what the country looked like, right? We know it wasn't built on fair and justice and equity and all of that. And so here we are in 2020, and I believe that we have more legislators of color in this legislature in the history of Minnesota politics. And I think it's very important that we recognize that and validate that, and that the voices of our people of color Indigenous caucus, our voices be heard in that decision-making process, because we bring those experiences from those communities that we now see impacted by those disparities that we've been facing. So I know for me and so many others of us who are legislators of color, our goal is to make sure that our voices and our solutions are part of the decision-making about how we move forward and what that needs to be, what that needs to look like, because we are the voices of those unheard voices that we don't see having the outcomes that we know they deserve to have in the state.
And can I
Can I
just,
ask a question as a parent
We're
that has a
gonna do
student?
one more question, and that would be
Okay.
you.
Thank you. So I've been testifying for several years about my son, who identifies Black and Native and has IEP. He's been in 17 schools. Is this gonna help so that he can be at one school and his rights will be heard and I don't have to file a complaint with the Human Rights Department, the MDE, all these, speak to the school boards when nobody listens? Will this amendment help all of our brown, Black, and Native kids?
Well,
In a word,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. And it'll take effect immediately?
well, we have to work through the details of what that looks like.
I mean, I know that's a process.
But we have set goals.
Our kids can't wait
Yes.
anymore, so you say
Absolutely.
our children come first.
That's right.
I want to make sure that we don't have to wait any longer.
There will be priorities. Yes, ma'am.
You don't
Thank
need
you.
the
Thank you.
signature.
Thank you all for being
Oh,
here
can I
today.
ask one more question? You don't need the signature of the governor. It's about building enough support in the legislature. Are you starting to count those votes? Do you think you can get to 50% simple majority in both the House and Senate?
We're still counting.
Still counting?
But we are counting.
but can I just add, you know, my friends in the press often ask, what are the odds that something's gonna happen? But the truth is, until you put your shoulder into it, you never know what your odds are. And if you say, we can't do it because of some statistic, you will not do it. But if you say, we're gonna do it, you just might do it.
But you know, we could use the governor's help on this.
And I,
That's a good question to ask him.
I
Is he
hate,
gonna help us do this?
I hate to use the football analogy, but I'm going to.
Go for it. You've earned the right.
You know, coming up to this year's Super Bowl, Kansas City played, I think it was LA, they were down by 24, 25 points in the third quarter, written off. They made it to the Super Bowl. They get into the Super Bowl, they're down by 20 points. So far down that I left the game. Because it's over. Funny thing happened on the way to the end of the game. And I will just leave you with that.
And on that note, I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.